What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be reviewing the fantasy slasher film based on a novel by Clive Barker and directed by the one and only Clive Barker, 1990's Nightbreed. The plot focuses on Aaron Boone, played by Craig Sheffer, who has reoccurring nightmares about a society of monsters living under a cemetery. Is he making it up, or are they real and calling to him? His psychiatrist, played by David Cronenberg, convinces him he's a murderer and a slayer of families. Troubled and suicidal, Boone seeks refuge in Midian, but the monsters do not accept him at first. He is tracked by his girlfriend, Lori, refuses to give up on him. After he dies, he comes back cold and monstrous. But Decker isn't about to let Boone continue on. He raises the locals on this idea that Boone is out still murdering families and doing the damage done that he himself is, and wages an all-out assault on Midian like a holy war in God's name led by the devil. Apparently one of the big issues with this film is that it was sliced and diced by the studios, cutting a lot of Clive Barker's vision for the actual film, to be tampered with, probably for a more, favorable market, But the thing is that, I think just being able to make a film like that today and have that kind of money and enthusiasm behind a big studio would never happen. But at that time, you got to fight for your vision anyway. One thing that I really like about this film is it has a true soul to it. It doesn't feel like some kind of sleazy horror film. It doesn't feel cold and depressing. It feels like it's a celebration of good things, of being different, being an oddball. And, hopefully living in a better society that can accept kind of everybody for who they are and not judge people based on how they look or, maybe what kind of background they have or something, It's got a really sweet-hearted message to it that a lot of horror films maybe don't have or just don't, play upon. But again, this comes from sort of a way different point of view as an author rather than just sort of making this film about blood and guts. However, the film has a lot of blood and guts. Enough at least to just satisfy any slasher fan's urge or kind of zombie, film. It really it doesn't hold back on that. So don't let, this whole sort of studio getting involved thing deter you away from like, oh, it's probably a really weak, bloodless film. It's not. It's absolutely has a lot of good slow throat slashes and, there's blood all over the screen in this thing. And it can be very sinister at times, especially with David Cronenberg, the director of The Fly and Videodrome and countless other cult films, plays in this film very, very interestingly this sinister doctor who wears this almost scarecrow-looking mask, Scarecrow from like Batman, and has a suit and everything, but plays him very, very, very good. Also too, the huge thing in this. I kind of tried to look into who did the special effects in this film, and I know I came up with this name right here, and but I was surprised that it wasn't like Stan Winston or somebody that was really going hard back then with a lot of this. But they're amazing. The creatures in this are amazing and shocking, and like there's the kind of stuff in this film that you will see that will stick with you. the set pieces are absolutely amazing. Midian is this sort of town, or not town, but kind of subterranean city where, you know, these monsters are calling to Aaron, who ends up being this kind of, you know, I guess Messiah archetype here, that they've always known about, basically. And the thing is with this is that, man, like I said, you will see some stuff, some visual stuff in this that will kind of blow you off the map. I mean, the way the creatures look, the bizarre kind of things, like you'll like, it's stuff from nightmares for sure. But I think that's what's genius about it, is it's meant to sort of be like, that is horrifying, but maybe I should understand this kind of creature. You know, maybe it's not a monster that's out to kill me. Maybe, you know, that kind of life, whatever, if you're that kind of, you know, deformed or whatever, or maybe you have this power, it's also a curse, you know. So it forces you to sort of understand what you're afraid of, which I think is very interesting for, in a horror film and in a movie like this. I absolutely love the cast in this film. I mean, everybody does such a really good job. It seems like they're putting, like, you know, 100% into like their roles, and they're really born for these parts. Everyone from Craig Sheffer to David Cronenberg. But really, maybe it's just me, but I have this soft spot for the female lead and Bobby. I absolutely love her big eyes in this and the way she talks. I found her to be very attractive, but also just like very mesmerizing, which is something you know, I'm not gonna lie, her role is, it's, you know, she kind of carries the film, to be honest with you, but her role, this kind of role is, you know, kind of typical. I would say maybe she's similar to like the lead in like Candyman, where there's a little bit more to this female lead. She's not just some chick in a slasher film, obviously. She's doing this out of love, and she has this kind of determination that a lot of other, you know, horror movie kind of roles aren't like this. But her character seems like she's sort of flat with you know, her arcs and stuff, because it's very one-tracked. But I just found the actress, her and Bobby, to just play this role in a very different way that I just like really cared about. I don't normally feel this way about you know, an actress in this kind of role, but I don't know. She just really mesmerized me in this, and maybe it's just because, you know, her giant, beautiful eyes. I don't know, but something about her in this really struck me, and always does when I watch it. So this film, you know, I mean, I highly recommend it. I think it's probably one of the best films ever made, to be quite frank. It's something that I didn't grow up with, even though it's sort of that time for me. You know, it's something that came out when I was a child. But I found it a few years ago, and really just found it to be like, wow, this thing is huge, and like way beyond your typical slasher, you know, like B horror film. I mean, this thing it's up there. And again, love the Danny Elfman score. So you know, guys, I really appreciate you checking out this video. Please hit a subscribe, a like, ring the notification bell. I hope you're staying safe with everything, and everybody just be good to each other, and peace the fuck out.